Hello, my name is Kelly Oberly of Access Human Potential, and today we're going to go over goal setting for athletes. So I'm going to pop up a few slides. And so what we're going to cover today is the agenda we're going to go over is the importance of goal setting, what SMART goals are, and a 4-step goal setting activity. And what's important today is that as we go through the information, you can pause and do the activities. You can come back to this. It's really for your benefit. So as Gandhi has said, action expresses priorities. And that's really what we want to do is focus our actions on our priorities. And that's where goal setting comes into play. So how do you achieve a goal as an athlete? Research has shown that you have a 90% success rate if your goals are specific and challenging, not over challenging, so too difficult, but challenging, versus if they're easy and generic. So you want to make sure that you're looking at these and that you are trying to stretch yourself. The other thing is that writing down your goals is critical to success. And it creates accountability. It makes you be committed because you're actually writing it down and it's something that you can actually share it also with either a friend or a coach so that there's an added level of commitment and accountability. In addition, it gives you focus and motivation. So as say I am a softball player and my goal is I'm a pitcher and my goal is to increase my strikeouts from last year to this year by 10%. I can write that down and it can keep me accountable, committed. So when I think of what do I need to work on today, I'm working on things that are going towards that goal. So we're going to walk you through the process itself. So first off, there's a concept called SMART goals. And SMART goals are great because you can use them in sports, you can use them around school, you can use them around work also. And the idea is that they're specific. So you want to make sure your goal is specific. So in the example I used before, as a pitcher, I can say, my strikeouts were this last year. This next year, I want to increase them by 10%. So that's very specific. It's measurable. So I know that I can then look at what I had before and what that number is that I'm looking for. It's achievable, right? A 10% increase is achievable. Now, for someone else, maybe it's a 5%, maybe it's a 20%. So you just want to make sure, again, that it's a stretch goal, meaning that it's going to challenge you, but you still feel that it's achievable. It's relevant. So, as a pitcher, increasing strikeouts could be something relevant for me. What I'm looking at is it's within the season, so it's time bound. All right, so that's really what we're looking at. So if you use another sport, if you use basketball and you use free throws, I could say that I want to increase my free throw success by, 15%. All right, so that's specific because I know what I did last year and I'll be able to see what I'm doing this year. So that's specific and measurable. It's achievable because it's not 50%. But again, depending on the athlete, it's relevant because say I'm a forward and I'm on the free throw line a lot, that is relevant to what I'm trying to do to be a stronger basketball player. And I have the season, which is time bound. Okay. So that's what SMART goals are. So that's how we start setting it. Now, one of the things that happens with goals is that we have different things that come up. So you set what your goal is, and we're going to go through now a 4-step goal setting activity. And what that is step 1 is really to name your goal. So what is the goal you'd like to reach? And so you want to name that and state it. And that's where you want to make sure that you write it down. Okay, so this is my goal. And in the second step, you want to write down what you need to do. So you've written down, this is what my goal is. So let's go to the basketball example. My goal is to increase my free throw percentages by 15%. So last year I was at 70%. This year, I want to get up to 85%. Okay, so I'm writing that down. Now that could be a stretch goal. All right. And I want to then, on my second step, is look at what are the things I need to do. All right. So say I take 3 things, the ways that I need to hit this goal. And that is, for me, it would be, one is doing some mental preparation of visualizing, because I want to make sure that I'm calm. One of the problems I have when I get up to the free throw line is I'm thinking about all the things that could go wrong. I feel my heart in my chest. Everything is like I'm very anxious. So one of the things I'm going to do is work on some mental. The second thing I'm going to do is work on the physical. I'm going to set aside time in practices, and at the end of practice and on non-practice days to take a certain amount of free throws. And so again, I would look at, maybe I want to take throughout the week, I want to take 80 extra free throws. So I split those up, and that's one of the ways. And the other is that I want to really work on my form. Okay. So I do that without the ball, and I do, a couple times a week, I just work on the form of feeling the ball. And it's more of, again, it's kind of a mental exercise, but it's actually going through the motions physically. So those are some of the ways that I could work on achieving a higher percentage of free throws. Now, what could get in the way? That's step 3, is thinking about what could get in the way. What are the obstacles that I might encounter? And the obstacles that I could encounter would be, one is that, I don't set aside the time. Other things become important. Maybe it's schoolwork, maybe it's work. Maybe I'm just, kind of tired and burnt out. And so that could get in the way. And so if I set certain days that I'm going to do this extra practice or this mental work, some things could get in the way. And so I have to look at that and write down, what do I think some of the obstacles could be? Okay. And it could be that, I get tired, or maybe I start to feel like, hey, I'm doing really good with free throws. I don't need to continue this. So that could be an obstacle that gets, kind of, they say the enemy of good is great. So maybe I'm feeling pretty confident halfway through the season that I've got this down. So maybe I'm thinking, I don't need to do that extra practice. Okay. The 4th step, so you write down what could get in the way. And then the 4th step is taking kind of, if I feel like I'm too tired to do, my extra 20 shots today, then maybe what I say, all right, you know what? I'm going to push that off to tomorrow. So that's an if-then planning. So in essence, I'm creating strategies of, if this happens, then I can do this. Maybe I'm halfway through the season and I'm at 85% free throws and I'm feeling pretty confident. Then maybe I readjust. If that happens, then I say, you know what, let me relook at the schedule that I've got, and maybe I can back off a little bit. So those are if-then approaches. So when we look at goal setting, that's what we really want to do, is we want to make sure that we set SMART goals that are specific, measurable, that they're relevant, that they're achievable, right? And that they're time bound. In addition to that, we want to make sure that we write them down and we think of the things that we need to do to accomplish them and some of the things that could get in the way. And that's really where goal setting can be very successful. So I wish you luck in whatever goals you set and in the season that you have coming up. Thank you.